Welcome to Introduction to Python. Today we're going to be learning a little bit about math and also just doing a review of the last 3 videos. So again, we're just going to go to our Python folder, just keep things organized. Go hit new REPL, Python, and then just do math/review video. Okay, so in lots of programs, you're going to want to be able to do simple math. And you can just put 2 plus 2 over here, but that's not going to do anything. You need to save it to a variable. So if you just want to do number 1, and then if you just print that out, it just automatically does it. So you can do as many pluses, and it'll just automatically add it up. Okay. You can change these out for multiplication. You can do division, and the cool thing is that it will as long as you set it up correctly, it'll do order of operations. So what it did here, it did that. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Parentheses, all the way down the line with order of operations, it'll follow that rule. So if you want something to go first, you need to put it inside parentheses, and so on and so forth. And it'll follow that. Okay. Now, oh, I did need that plus there. Okay. So that's something you can do. You can also, let's just go back to a very simple example. You can set it equal to variables, and then you can also, just inside your print line, if you needed to add 10 more to whatever number 1 ended up being, it'll take what number 1 is and plus another 10 or times another 10, whatever the number is. Okay, so you can set up just regular math. You can do, if you had another number, if you had number 2 is equal to 2, and then you can set number 2 equal to number 1 plus number 2. So then you set this equal to number 3. What's number 3 going to be equal to? So number 1 is equal to 4. 2 plus 2 equals 4. Number 2 is equal to 2. So number 3 is going to be equal to 2 plus 2 plus 2, basically. So it'd be 6. And just to check that out, how that works out, number 3. 6, and then 40 from number 1, which is 4 times 10, which is 40. Okay, that's the basics of math. It's going to come up more handy with loops and things like that. But that's the basics. It's just instead of just giving it a regular value, you can put in math and have it do calculations for you, which is really nice. So now we just want to review input and variables, which we've already reviewed. The only other one we really need to review is input. So you could ask somebody, please put in, need to put quotation marks. Please put in how many candy bars you've eaten this week. And then we always want to save that input into a variable, just to save a line of code. We can just put candy bars. And that would totally work. And then if it's a number, we also need to put in our integer sign. What this basically does is, if we do it without the integer, let me just show you really quick. If I do this same line down here, I don't have that integer, I'll show you what it does really quick. So we'll run it. Oh, don't need that. Please buy me candy bars each week, 15 and 15. Okay, now that we have them stored in there, now we need to let's do candy bars 1. So we'll do print candy bars 1 and copy, oops. Then we'll just do regular candy bars. Okay, let's see what happens. do 15 and 15. Okay, and you'll see that it's the same, 15 and 15. But the problem that we'll have with candy bars is that as soon as I want to, let's say each candy bar costs $2, and we're trying to figure out how much they spend in candy bars this week. If I did this candy bars, which doesn't have the input, I run it. Please put in how many candy bars, 15 and 15. Okay, this time it did 15. Okay, oops. Let me run that one more time. Sorry, let's get that up. So if I bought 15 candy bars, this tells me how much dollars. So it was $2 per candy bar. But why did this one do 15 and 15? That's not what 2 times 15 is. So if it doesn't have the integer, what it does is that it's just like text. It's 2 15s. It's two 1s and 2 5s. So we have to have that integer there, or else it's not going to recognize it as having value. That adds value to our variable candy bars. Okay. So yeah, so now that you have candy bars 1, you could do a lot of different things. You could times it, you can print it out just like what we did. But make sure you have that integer there, or else it won't work. So then you can ask kind of the same question. You could do candy bars. Instead of candy bars, you could do soda. Please enter how many soda cans you've eaten. Nope. Drunk. You've drank this week. I think that's right, English. Too busy learning Python language. Don't have time for English language. And then with that, we could print off candy bars and soda. Let's then ask me how many I bought. Let's say I bought 10 and 10. Oops, candy bars 1. Remember, with those variables, it has to be exactly the same as the one you've already created, or else it won't work. 15 and 10. 15 and 10. Okay, so there's a good review of our prints. If you want to print off exactly what you wanted to say, you have to put quotation marks. If you want to print off a variable, you have to just don't use quotation marks. It has to be exactly whatever the value is. Like if I want to print off number 1 down here, it has to have a comma, then the variable. Okay, now it's printing off 4. So I typed in 10, 10, and 4. Input, you just type in input, and then in quotation marks you put in what they're going to see, so they know what you want, what the computer's asking you for. And you always save our inputs right into a variable, so it saves time, and so you can, if you don't put that variable, then you won't be able to use your inputs. And there's math and a little review for you.